Hello and welcome to the Glad Possible YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing the important articles from the Hindu as well as the Indian Express. Um, so let's begin with the very first one. Today we are spotlighting a remarkable maritime rescue operation by the Indian Navy's INS Sumitra in the Gulf of Aden. A distress call was received from the Iranian fishing vessel FV Iman, which was hijacked and its crew was taken hostage. Well, you see, the Gulf of Aden is known for its piracy threats, and this was another perilous situation which was being witnessed. Thankfully, INS Sumitra was stationed in the area for anti piracy operations, and it responded swiftly. The ship, equipped and prepared, approached the hijacked vessel with a clear mission to secure the crew's safe release, and that it did. Employing strategic tactics and following established protocols, INS Sumitra's crew managed to negotiate with the pirates. Their efforts led to the successful release of all 17 crew members along with their boat. Now, this incident isn't an isolated one. We've seen a resurgence of piracy in the region, including the recent hijacking of the Malta flagged tanker MV Ruin. In response, the Indian Navy has ramped up its presence, deploying more ships for maritime security and enhancing aerial surveillance. Now, what is it that we need to focus on from this particular news? INS Sumitra, of course, and we should know that it was built by the Goa Shipyard Limited. We should ideally know that it was commissioned in 2014. And since the Yemen Houthi rebels are anyway in news, I thought might as well put this also over here. So there was this operation called Operation Rahat, which was conducted back in 2015, where around 350 Indians were saved using this vessel, which is INS Sumitra. And they were saved from Yemen when the Saudi Arabia led forces were conducting airstrikes against the Houthi rebels. Now, in case you have not seen the video with respect to the Red Sea crisis, kindly go and watch that because that becomes very important also. The second thing is this is the Gulf of Aden, this is Yemen. So you can sort of know you know, so the Arabian Sea is towards the east, there's also the Indian Ocean. So, and the Red Sea, of course, is anyway in news. So you can keep this in mind. Let's go on to the next one. Now, over here, they are saying so. This is Union Minister of State for Shipping Shantanu Thakur. You do not have to learn his name. But, well, what is important in this news is the fact that he has said that the Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019 will finally be implemented and apparently within a week. Now, while, does that happen? Will it not happen? We don't know about that. But because of the fact that this is in news, you should ideally know what the Citizenship Amendment Act is all about. So, of course, in your legal classes, you must have done constitutional law, जिसमें आपने सिटीजनशिप कैसे अक्वायर करते हैं, कैसे लूज होती है सिटीजनशिप, ये तो सब आपने किया भी होगा. आपको ये भी पता होना चाहिए that there is a Citizenship Act of 1955, and the current amendment, the very recent amendment, was in 2019. Now, you have to understand the logic behind this amendment. What has happened is, over the years, it is there have been an influx of a lot of migrants, illegal as well as legal, right, into our country. And these migrations have taken place because of many reasons, and amongst those reasons, one reason was religious persecution. तो हुआ क्या कि नेबरिंग कंट्रीज सच एज अफगानिस्तान पाकिस्तान बांग्लादेश से बहुत सारे इलीगल माइग्रेंट्स आए हैं और इन इलीगल माइग्रेंट्स में से ये जो माइनॉरिटीज हैं माइनॉरिटीज मतलब कि अफगानिस्तान पाकिस्तान बांग्लादेश की जो माइनॉरिटीज हैं इनके साथ हिंदू सिख क्रिश्चियन पारसी जैन बुद्धिस्ट इज नॉट मेंशन्ड हियर राइट सो आल्सो बुद्धिस्ट हियर so all of them have faced a lot of religious persecution in their respective countries, which is why they came to India illegally to save their lives. And so, hence, in the year 2019, the government came up with this particular amendment, and they are talking about these illegal migrants and how they should be given citizenship. कि इनको citizenship मिल जानी चाहिए. अच्छा ये वो लोग हैं जो ऑलरेडी इंडिया में हैं. They have entered India on or before the 31st of December 2014. So let this happen, let it be implemented. The minute it does, I will definitely take it up as a topic, and we'll talk about all the CAA protests and, why a certain section of the population is not mentioned over here, why others are. But as of now, this is what you should keep in mind. It has not been implemented yet because of many, many reasons, which we'll discuss later. You know, अमंग्स देम आर द प्रोविजंस, मतलब आपको रूल्स बनाने में बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी, क्योंकि जो इंसान इलीगली आपके देश में एंटर हुआ है, आपको कैसे पता कि वो 31 दिसंबर 2014 से पहले ही आया है? क्या पता वो बाद में आया हो, क्या पता वो झूठ बोल रहा हो, अब आया तो वो इलीगली है. So you don't really have any documentation to prove the same. So there are many such questions, right? The second thing that you should ideally know about is the Assam Accord. Now, why are we talking about this Assam Accord जब हम Citizenship Amendment Act की बात कर रहे हैं? Is because maximum influx of migrants जो थे वो या फिर असम से आते थे, असम के थ्रू एंटर करते थे इंडिया, या फिर वेस्ट बंगाल के थ्रू एंटर करते थे इंडिया. Or Assam, back in the day, what had happened was there was this All Assam Student Union, which was protesting the influx of these illegal migrants, because according to them, they felt that, these people are coming out of nowhere, taking our jobs, right? And that makes no sense. And so, hence, the government of India should, basically ask them to leave, deport them, उनको अपनी country of origin में भेज देना चाहिए. सो ऐसे टाइप का एक अकॉर्ड साइन तो हुआ था, लेकिन इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हुआ था. ये साइन हुआ था 1985 में, ट्राइपार्टाइट अग्रीमेंट. द थ्री पार्टीज इन्वॉल्व वर द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ असम एंड ऑल असम स्टूडेंट यूनियन. Now, the next thing that you should ideally know about is the National Register of Citizens. You see, back in 1951, what had happened was, of course, हर 10 साल में सेंसस तो हो ही रहा था. वो अलग बात है कि अभी नहीं हुआ है. So 2024 में, that's what the government says, that they will end up doing it. Point is that in 1951, when Jawaharlal Nehru was the prime minister, census activity was already happening, and so he sort of felt कि इतने सारा migration हो रहा है through Assam, कि एटलीस्ट गवर्नमेंट के पास लिस्ट ऑफ सिटीजन्स रिजाइडिंग इन असम होना चाहिए. कि 1951 में जितने लोग हैं, जितने सिटीजन्स हैं असम में, ये हमारे पास हाथ में होना चाहिए, ताकि कल जाके अगर हमें कभी भी चेक करना हो कि अच्छा यार, is this person a citizen or not, has this person come in legally or not, so at least we have some kind of data to fall back upon. So that is when the National Register of Citizens was made. It was only made once in 1951, and that too only for the state of Assam. And now we know why. Because, we sort of wanted to keep some kind of documentation about, who all are entering into our country and who all are legitimately staying in our country. ये अलग बात है, एनआरसी को भी अपडेट करने की बात की थी, अपडेट हुआ भी था, लेकिन अराउंड 19 लाख लोगों को बोला गया था they were identified as illegal migrants. And so hence the government had said back in 2018 2019 that we'll conduct this again. So that is also related to this in one way. That was also done, of course, only for the state of Assam. It was updated for them, but of course, it wasn't really implemented per se. But the people who were identified as illegal migrants, they were put into transit camps. एंड फाइनली एक और टाइप का रजिस्टर होता है जो सरकार रखती है. ये रजिस्टर में, नेशनल पॉपुलेशन रजिस्टर में, यू डोंट रियली write down the names of the citizens, you write down the names of the usual residents of a country. Now, how do you define usual resident? Is somebody who is staying for 6 months or intends to stay for the next 6 months. What is the logic of preparing such a register? I mean, it goes without saying, yeah, it's all about national security. Like the government should obviously know कि कौन लोग हमारे देश में रह रहे हैं, कहाँ पे रह रहे हैं, क्या काम कर रहे हैं. All of that needs to be known, and so hence that is also something that you should ideally know about. Let's go ahead. The next one is with respect to the Uniform Civil Code. And so they say that, the UCC committee will submit a report on February 2nd. This has been said by the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Mr. Pushkar Singh Dhami. So what is happening is, last year there was a 5-member committee that was formed under the chairmanship of former Supreme Court Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai. And their job was to basically look into the feasibility of application of uniform civil code in the state of Uttarakhand. For those who don't know what is uniform civil code, it's a very simple thing. Code का मतलब law, civil law uniformly applicable होना चाहिए हर एक इंसान के ऊपर, irrespective of the different religions. मतलब शादी के लिए एक लॉ, डिवोर्स के लिए एक लॉ, पर्सनल लॉज नहीं होने चाहिए. इट शुड बी यूनिफॉर्मली एप्लीकेबल ऑन एवरीवन. अब ये बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड इज अ पार्ट ऑफ डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी, इट इज नॉट लीगली जस्टिसिएबल और एनफोर्सेबल इन नेचर. मतलब कि हम ना कोई ज़बरदस्ती यूसीसी अप्लाई कर सकता है हमारे ऊपर, और ना ही हम कोर्ट में जा सकते हैं इसके बेसिस पे कि आपने यूसीसी अप्लाई क्यों नहीं किया. बट ऑफ कोर्स it's a vision. So for every Hindu marriage act and a Christian marriage act, we also have a special marriage act which is uniformly applicable. Right. So similarly, we have the Indian Divorce Act. So these are uniform civil laws. Goa is the only place, only state in our country where UCC is applicable. Now, the second state where apparently it's going to be applicable is the state of Uttarakhand. So we'll see that. Right. This can also be converted into a topic video. We can talk about the nuances of the Uniform Civil Code, but for now, this is what is important for us. The article, the part, right? DPSP, of course, Irish Constitution से लिया है हमने. गोवा के बारे में आपको पता होना चाहिए ना. And former Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai. Let's go ahead. The next thing that is in news, of course, we are sitting in 2024. It is the year that the general elections are going to take place. And so, hence, every now and then there's this recurring news that is there in our newspaper, and that is to do with one nation, one election or simultaneous elections. Right. So, what do we need to learn with respect to that? पहली बात तो एक पैनल बनाया है सरकार ने जो पिछले साल कॉन्स्टिट्यूट किया था. एंड उस पैनल का जो हेड है दैट इज मिस्टर रामनाथ कोविंद. ही इज आवर फॉर्मर प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. And this particular high level committee is just, they are examining the issue of holding simultaneous elections for Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly and local bodies of all states. So by that I mean same दिन पे Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha and अगर local bodies की भी बात अगर हमने करी तो फिर पंचायत, म्यूनिसिपैलिटीज, है ना, हर जगह सेम टाइम पे इलेक्शंस होंगी. ये कोई नई चीज नहीं है. आवर कंट्री स्टार्टेड ऑफ दिस वे. वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन वाज हेल्ड ड्यूरिंग द फर्स्ट फोर जनरल इलेक्शन साइकिल्स व्हिच वर 52, 57, 62, 67. 67 के बाद why did this cycle break is because of the fact that there are a lot of reasons, amongst them being that some people were not happy with the kind of government that they had in their states. There were certain imposition of certain state emergencies, and you and I both know that whenever there is state emergency which is imposed in a state, फिर वो स्टेट का सरकार काम करना बंद कर देती है, and the union government is supposed to work um, and work on their behalf. And then, of course, the cycle of the election also changes just because of that. So, this particular article is talking about the pros and cons of simultaneous elections. The pros being, you will save time, you will save cost, you will save energy. But the cons are many. It would require a lot of constitutional amendments. I personally feel that, a lot will have to be changed. It will also impact the federal structure of the country. And it is not very advisable in nature, but well, let's see whether this happens or not. Let's go ahead. The next one is rather simple. So, Qatar has inked a 15-year deal with Bangladesh for gas supply, right? And yeah, so Qatar is one of the world's top LNG producers alongside US, Australia, and Russia. And it is the largest natural gas supplier to Bangladesh. So you can possibly keep this in mind. The names of the two countries are important, of course, Qatar and Bangladesh. This is a 15-year term agreement that has been made for the exchange of natural gas, right? And yeah, so you can also possibly learn the name of this US based company, right? Okay, so the last one for today is now Iran and Pakistan have said that they are going to jointly work to improve security. after the tit for tat air strikes that took place. So, for the ones who don't know anything about it, in 2024, I think around it was on the 16th of January, Iran carried out a series of missile and drone attacks with Pakistan's Baluchistan province, claiming that it had targeted the Iranian Baloch militant group Jaish-ul Adl. Right, so Jaish-ul Adl is a Sunni militant and Baluchi separatist organization, and uh, Salahuddin Faruqi is the current head of Jaish-ul Adl. So what has happened now is that both the countries have come together, the diplomats. So you can see that on the screen, Iranian diplomat Hossein Amir and his Pakistani counterpart Jalil Abbas Jilani, and they've come together in Islamabad, and they have held this news conference wherein they have said that they are going to work together to bring the situation back to normal in the shortest possible time. And well, that wraps up our daily newspaper analysis of the key news stories from the Hindu and the Indian Express. As aspirants of competitive exams like CLAT and AILET, staying informed and understanding the nuances of current affairs is very crucial. We hope this session provided you with valuable insights and perspectives to enhance your preparation. Thank you very much